Welcome back to the So Over It podcast
with Enya and Jordan.
And Jordan and Enya. Hello and welcome back
to the So Over It podcast.
You already said that in the intro, Enya.
Sorry.
It says welcome back to the So Over It podcast.
So how are we, Jordan, this week?
How's that gay?
It's grand, yeah. We could do with a wash, but yeah, grand otherwise.
How's that gay for a gallop? So the main big news of the week is the restrictions lifted.
Hip hip hooray.
Fucking hell.
But it just all happened overnight.
I don't believe it. Like I just think something fishy is around the corner.
But that's how quickly it can be taken away from us as well. Like I felt sorry for the pubs as well, like because they had literally not even 24 hours notice to get staff in. Yeah, a lot of them
held off for a few days. Like they kept the whole 12 o'clock thing for like a few days, and then they done like a proper reopening till 3.
Yeah, but what happened was a lot of places needed that late licence.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't have come through till Wednesday. This Wednesday just gone.
So what can you
do?
They
could only open till 12, like so the likes of nightclubs and stuff.
I have to put the phone down because then it says I make too much noise.
You just apply for it. That's what I was saying to Jordan. I go, it's all the way through the podcast. All he hears.
Well, I have to keep on top of the topics, guys.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, but yeah, no, it's there's a whole like condition about like late licenses and stuff like that.
And just to buy them?
I don't think you buy. Well, I'm not too sure, like, because I don't own a pub. Maybe one day I will. But
would you like to do that?
I don't know.
The stress of that.
I don't know whether, like, I'd love to invest in a business but be a silent partner. So basically, here's me money. I just want to get profit, and I don't want any like anything to do with the day to day. Yeah, I don't want to
fucking work like that, Paul.
It does. There is such thing as silent partners. Like say 4 people could go in on a pub, and like 2 could be like, right, here's our money to invest it into the pub, and then you get like a quarter of the profits. Like
that's my goal as well. Like I want to have like hair and makeup studios, but I don't want to run them. Like I just want to own them.
Yeah.
I don't want to work with them.
That's the thing. Like, and I actually remember reading online there recently about like people who like open their own gyms, who are PTs and open their own gyms, and they're like, the amount of time you will spend on admin and running the business, you won't have time to train people anymore.
I think the best thing you can do with everything is take a business course.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you need to know. Do you ever see that interview with Cardi B? And she's talking about like people coming in and she's paying this person to run her business when she doesn't know like what's going on, so she regrets not actually going to college and learning about business and running her shit herself. Like, yeah, no, it's totally true. Like even shadow like someone who owned a business, shadow someone like that. Like, and like I'm sure like if someone was trying to be a makeup artist, they'd be shadow or watching YouTube videos and shadowing and all like that. YouTube is that you learned a lot from YouTube, didn't you? So did I. I learned like doing makeup. I learned like. Back then it was very rare, like it was proper trial and error. Like I actually learned from other makeup artists. I didn't really learn online as much because there wasn't as much like material out there. It was like a black and grey smoky eye, a copper smoky eye, or a real colourful one, and it was all MAC and Ingla. It was like there was no drugstore or like back then the drugstore just didn't have the payoff back. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I learned like I used to have a little kit. It was actually my first ever makeup kit. It was like my nanny's makeup bag. It was my nanny's toilet bag from the hospital, and I just took it and filled it up with like Catrice and all, and like I used to have full on black smoky eye with nothing underneath it. Lol. Do you remember that sunshimmer bronzer that used to be in pennies? Oh my god, they were walking out on their own, like proper. Do you remember the makeup I did on your 24th? I liked that. I had you like poison ivy. I'm sorry. I liked that. I looked like a holly, like off a Christmas tree. Yeah, you were like a green sparkly dress. And I liked it though. I know, it was for the time. I thought it was real like Adam and Eve vibe, like, do you know what I mean? Like if it was, if I was a Christian and we were having our annual Christian party and I went as Eve, like, so Emerald Eve. Emerald Eve. Speaking of makeup, so nights out is the next topic. So like nights out can happen again. Like it's not this 12 o'clock bollocks. But it's so hard to believe because we've spent 2 years, coming and going, only being able to drink till 8, not being able to drink out at all, being able to drink till 12, then back to 8, then having a €9 meal. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not. Sometimes it's not even worth it. Like I didn't even really go out to drink during the lockdown because. Like, I don't like the whole going out till 12 o'clock bollocks. Like, I want to be out, I'm out. I hate that. I hate. You might as well just go to a pub then. I'm sick of going to people's house. Like, I'm sick to the back teeth of it. Like, I hate it. That's what over lockdown I said the same. I got to the point where it was like, it's not even fun anymore. Like, it loses its novelty. Like, when I was in Dubai and you could stay out till 2 or 3 in the morning, like, I didn't know myself. I felt like I was after getting out of prison.
That's what it felt like.
A whole new world.
Like even some of the restrictions, I was only talking about this in my show the weekend. Like, remember, like you couldn't buy clothes. Remember, and they had all the clothes sealed off like a fucking crime scene.
Like I feel like we're gonna end up in the history books.
Yeah,
Like,
we will.
What do you mean? Like that? At one point in time, it was literally North Korea. Excuse me. You're telling me I'm not within my rights to go and buy a pair of fresh knickers? Like, go away.
And then the whole like click and collect service. Sorry, you can't buy that. Okay, well, how do I buy it? Go home, order it online, and come back in and collect it.
The way, like, I don't know. I feel like the way the government handled that, like, if they really did take their.
I'll never forget. We were so like housebound, right? My brother broke his finger during lockdown, and we were all killing each other who got to bring him to A&E. I swear to God.
Out, like.
Yeah, and like, any other day, be like, fuck off, not bringing it up to A&E. We'd be there all night, and then they just sent them home. Then they were like, yeah, I have this €9 meal, and you'll be grand.
Take 2 paracetamol.
But no, I'm looking forward to just being able to go out. Not worrying. Oh, we can't dance. Sorry, you can't leave your table service only. Did you order chips? Did you order food? You have to.
Off, yeah.
And then do you know what? There was places as well in town that were making up their own rules, and they were like, you have to order food. And I was like, yeah, but that rule's gone now. Yeah, we still have to order food.
Well, like, the fair play to the few people that, like, when you were there and you remember the way you only had the hour.
Yeah.
And like they were like, I'll pretend you bought a fresh set of chicken wings, so you're here for another hour. Do you know what I mean?
Jordan, there was pubs that were going around putting dirty plates on tables, so
just
like
pretend, like,
in case the guards walked in. What did the world fucking come to?
I just can't wait to like fall out of a nightclub at 4 o'clock in the morning and then go to a little secret rave or something again.
Yeah.
Not that I went to loads.
Sit in Eddie Rockets at 4 in the morning and just be like, this is it, lads. This is what we waited for.
This is it.
The boom is back.
Yeah, and speaking of the boom being back, how is work?
Yeah, so it was actually great to do 2 shows in the Red Cow, because originally those tickets went on sale the week before Christmas and we didn't know what way restrictions were going to be. Yeah. The 8 o'clock rule was still in, so I had to do my show at 5:30 in the Red Cow, right, in the evening, which is kind of shit, but then again it's good because
done and dusted. Yeah,
it's done and dusted. And then in another sense, like, I'd usually only do my show at 8 and people are already fucking half tanked up then.
Yeah.
So by the time you're walking onto the stage, and by the time the show's over, they're bleeding, falling all over the place. But it was great to walk out and just everyone was just in such good spirits because the restrictions were lifted literally that Saturday. It was all back to normal. Fucking, if you're from Diva, or if you're from Clondalkin, well, I'm sure a lot of people were probably conceived in Diva. Like
yeah, and they're out now.
Yeah,
they're out nightclubbing now.
Yeah, they're buying me shots at the bar. But yeah, so like Diva, the nightclub was open in the Red Cow. Like anyone who went to see me show could go to it. It was great. It was.
Yeah.
And you know, it made me completely forget about my positive PCR test that morning. So like it was great. It was. I'm only joking.
You're a comedian or something. But like even for me, like work is so busy again. Thank God. Like honestly,
busy, yeah. Just even this week in general.
Was that a joke?
No, only
yeah, no, but like it is getting back busy again, and like I haven't put in so many books. I'm actually getting a little bit overwhelmed sometimes. I'm like, I have to like.
That's brilliant, though.
I know, it's great. I have to like organise what times I can go away around because like, oh no, sorry, I have a wedding that week. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Loving my life again.
And how did the revenue feel about it?
Great. The next thing I have on the list is the topics is annoying things that people do.
Oh well.
So like your pet peeves, like.
Well, speaking of that, it's in relation to my shows this weekend, right? So I know people are excited to be out, and I know like it's exciting going and seeing a community. It's a show, like, you know, people haven't been out in a long time.
Yeah. But some people just take the piss, like.
I know some people like to engage with me on stage, right? And that's fine. We'll have a bit of back and forth for a minute or two. But when it's consistently the whole way through the show, and there was 210 people there on Saturday night and Sunday night as well. So it was a good turnout.
Small enough crowd as well, like.
Yeah, and it obviously only 200 tickets could be sold during restrictions, but we allowed walk-ups. But anyway, so one of the nights there was a group of girls there, right, and they were near enough to the front, and I don't think they've ever been to a comedy show before, and I didn't appreciate the way they were going on, but they constantly, anytime I was on stage and I was like, oh, so I remember this one time I was in Lanzarote, and they were like, she was in Lanzarote last week. And it's like, okay, girls, like, you don't have to notify me every time. You can relate to a joke. And then, like, I remember I was in school, and I'll never forget this teacher called Miss Murphy. Her name is Sarah Murphy. Well, that's not her actual name, but like, it got very, very annoying, and it was like, it was starting to affect
like once it's funny, and then the second time it's like, right, shut the fuck up, like.
Yeah, and it's like girls, you are actually making my job difficult here, because
you off,
there's another 200 people here who don't give a fuck where you're from, what your teacher's name is, where you've been on holiday. They just want to hear me. They paid to listen to me, not you. So if you ever do come see me in a show, Just be a bit respectful, have a bit of crack, that's fine. You know, I'll address you once or twice, but when it's the whole way through the show and it's so off-putting for me, and it's not even funny, like it's you think you're having the crack with me and you'll probably go home and be like, oh, she was taking the piss out of us all night. I didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy the interaction the whole way through the show. I don't mind taking the piss out of someone in the front row and having a bit of crack with me back, but that's it. Like, you don't need to keep interrupting me every time you can relate to something. And they think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
They think
they're getting a rise out of you.
Yeah, and it's not even a rise out. They think like, oh, she's talking to us and all. Like, they feel deadly about it, and I don't enjoy it whatsoever. So just show a bit of respect to performers on stage. That's all I'm saying. Like, you might think like, oh, through me videos and all, I love buzzing off people and taking the piss out of people, but don't come to me show with that goal to just, like, you know, engage with me for fucking 2 hours. Like,
that's fucking that.
And that's that. Rant over, yeah.
The thing that people do that annoy me, and I probably do it myself. Like, no, I wouldn't do this one. But do you know when people like scratch themselves in public? Like, I'm not being like, I'm not gender bowling anyone, but I just think it is gross if a woman does it. Like, I'm sorry, like, scratching their fanny, like,
and they're wearing them leggings that are like fucking up their back,
and dare they sniff it afterwards. Excuse me, like,
where are you going? Like,
big fucking BV.
Where do you be going to see that?
I don't know. Do you ever see the videos of the girl, one on the train, and she's literally going to town scratching herself and then smelling it? Like,
oh my god,
I could up and change seats. I wouldn't even be able to look at that.
But like, do you ever see them like going around, right, and their fucking leggings are up their back, you can see their tongue and they're just scratching themselves, yeah. Oh, jeez. I know,
but sometimes if your knickers are like a quick,
fellas have to do that as well, though.
Like, adjust yourself, that's alright, but don't like.
I just look around if anyone's looking and then pop.
Or do you ever see like, if you catch someone pure scratching themselves and they're like, I'm like, are you enjoying it? And they're like, I'm scratching my leg. I'm like, no, you're wearing, you pure move that down 2 inches.
You always see fellas doing it, like, it's like they're trying to pull their boxers out of front, to the way girls try to pull their bleeding tongue out their back. What's all that about, like?
I don't know. Now I'm subject to the next one, heavy breathing. Like, I was very, very overweight, so that's what I blamed it on. But like, I actually notice it so much more now when people, like, because I don't breathe as heavy anymore, I notice other people breathing so heavy. Like, one time me and my friend were just sitting beside each other and I heard she went, and I was like, fucking noisy, you. Was I like that? And she was like, yeah.
Like, do you ever see that meme and it's just like, do you ever go on a hike and then you're trying to like, you're hoping people don't hear you fighting for your life.
Like, that's the one thing I was saying, when I go walking now, I'm amazed at the fact that I can walk and talk at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't have to stop and talk. It's the little things,
well, if you think about it, what did you say, you've lost 6 stone? Like,
yeah, nearly 6 stone.
Like, that's about 6 14s is,
I can't do the maths.
We'll say roughly over £100, right? Divide that by 2, that's £50. Like, that's like 20 kilos, like nearly 25 kilos. That's 25 kilos you're not carrying around with you anymore. And you were like, I'm not messing. Like, imagine going into a gym.
A weight off your chest, like.
But imagine going into a gym, right, picking up a 25 kilo weight and walking up the stairs with it. Like, that's what it would have been like. So,
I know. Fair play to me.
Fair play.
I'm only messing. But yeah, little things like that. I think is gas. Like, I noticed that I don't breathe as heavy anymore. But
annoying things with me are people who chew loudly.
Yeah, I can't stand that.
Or
talk with their mouth full.
No, actually, there's actually something more annoying than that. When you're sitting on a plane or in a theatre or in a cinema and there's someone beside you and they keep moving and they're elbowing you and all like that, and then they're mad noisy.
I'm a bit of a mover, I won't lie.
Yeah, I know you are.
I'm a bit of a jumper.
What did we say at the start?
I know. I'm so fidgety. Like, I'm one of that. I have restless foot syndrome. I literally lie in the bed vibrating.
Do you know that's a sign of low iron? Low iron in your system.
Not constantly moving.
If you suffer from restless leg syndrome, yeah.
Maybe so. I just think it was me mind.
Just gonna have to give you a smack of an iron the next time you start getting fidgety.
My sister, like, her knees looks like she's doing did up and cut, and I go like how much her knee goes up and down. I do have to put me.
That can be a sign of
nerves.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
It can be a sign of like Garrett always does that when we're in the cinema and all. I'd be like, here Garrett, the chair's fucking shaking, like.
Yeah. Do you know what I don't like? When here and you're a fucking knocker if you do that. Get on a plane and take your shoes off and your socks. Like,
not normal.
Sorry, I don't want to see you with cheesy toes. Put them fucking away. Like, you're on a flight to Manchester for 45 seconds. Like, what you doing taking your shoes off?
Do you know what? Speaking of like planes and stuff like that and the heavy breathing, I hate people who have big mad emphysemic coughs.
My nanny would like that. My nanny would have been one of the persons if you were getting that going. Like, if I was getting a rise out of her and she start, or like she'd catch herself and she'd be like, "See fucking you, look what you're doing to me," and start coughing and she'd like, "Oh, you're doing." Put me in the grave.
But it's so annoying, and like that big horrible phlegmy, and like they're just oblivious to it. Like if that was me, I'd be mortified. And it's on a plane for like 7 hours, and every 2 minutes, actually, do you know what? That trumps anything that annoys me. Coughing. Anytime I go back,
I can't help it. I hate that when you have a cough.
Well, hold your breath. I don't give a bollocks.
Pauline, I can't deal with that. Like, it's the worst thing ever. When I was little, like, I used to be afraid of coughing so much, I'd make myself gag. Like, I literally I hate.
Well, if I meant someone was going to sleep better, then so be it. Right?
I still to this day, I just have trauma when I get a cough. My nanny, I never forget. I had a bad cough and I had to have her awake all night and we were going away on holidays. She's like, "I'm not bringing you if you're going to go on like that." Cough. I'm like, I can't help. I have a cough. Fucking hell.
Anytime I go back and stay in my ma's house right for the night, me ma and dad have like proper me ma and dad, like the coughing is just constant, and it's so different to like when I stay in like in the flat with Gara like all day every day.
It's just quiet like
you hear a pin drop at night and then you stay there and me fucking dad's cooking a fry at 3 a.m. Me ma's bleeding taking selfies at 2. Like it's. And you would come down and fix my phone for my at 2 in the morning.
I know you didn't mean it, but I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I lost my train of thought.
The coughing.
Yeah.
Things that annoy you. I have to say, yeah, the coughing's a big thing for me now.
Yeah. The next topic is taking things out on the ones you love the most. I'm a bastard for that.
Yeah. Do you know what?
You just think they're going to be there forever, so you don't care if you hurt their feelings.
I know. That's me and my man's relationship, yeah.
Yeah, I used to be like that. Like, me and my nanny, like, we were real tit for tat. Like, if she was in a bad humor, I'd get it. And if I was in a bad humor, she'd get it. And I have to say, like, I always take, like, everybody, like, if you're listening, she can get a rise out of me, like, no, what I can be in a grand humor. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. She'd literally go... And I'd be like, "See you!" Like, she just, I don't know what it is, but it's because I love her the most that, like, I feel like I can go on like that with her, which is wrong. I shouldn't be. I should appreciate her, but...
Yeah, no, it is. And you know what, as people get older, like, even as my ma gets older, I constantly, every time I snap her or something, I'm like...
You feel guilty immediately.
Wait till you see when she's not there one day and you're going to be like, you know, when sometimes I go down to her, right, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table and I'd be like texting someone back on my phone. She's like, "You only come down here to fucking text on that poxy phone."
Says who?
I know. I was like, "Says you, ma." I goes, "I must have been trying to talk to you for the last half hour and you're betting your phone." And then I think to myself, and she just keeps asking you questions you don't have the answer to. And she goes, "And when you go over to Dubai, would you say you're going to go to an Irish pub, ma?" "I don't know. I've never been there before." Might like, yeah. "And when you go to an Irish pub, you're going to order a Guinness, ma?" I don't know. Like, I'm not really into Guinness. "And would you say Garrett will drink Guinness over there, ma?" And I did these type of questions, and I'm like, why are you asking me this?
You're the most easily annoyed person as well.
I know.
You really are. Like.
But and then I snap it. I was like, "Ma, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't tell the future."
I'm only asking.
Yeah. I'm only fucking asking. But sometimes you can be very nosy. And I'm like, "Ma, now come on, there's no need to be asking them type of questions." Because only asking.
But like a trip to Dubai would be something in her dreams. She wouldn't. She's never.
She thought that was fucking beside Cork. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man wouldn't go to Terranor.
If I pointed to a globe and I'd be like, "Point out Dubai," she wouldn't even. Yeah, she wouldn't go to Terranor. She'd be like, "Can I stop for a smoke on the way?"
Price of it. But I'd be one of them people. That's what I was going to say about the annoying things. Like, if she had emphysema, it was on a gas mask, she'd be like, "I'm only having one." Out the side of mask.
No, but I remember I told her, I goes, "You can smoke indoors over in Dubai," and her face lit up.
Like,
she was like, "Can you?" I'd say that's why she'd love to go there, but she wouldn't be able to sit on a 7-hour flight and not smoke. Like, she'd crack up. Like,
she'd be
like, "Land this plane now, land it in Shannon so I can have a smoke."
She'd be in the do you know I on TikTok they have, like, I saw that girl that does all air host things. She works for Emirates, and saying that there's an ashtray in the toilet for people that just can't not have a smoke, that go in and chance getting a fine. They'll go into the bathroom, have the smoke, and that's the ashtray for them.
I've seen that on a plane on Emirates.
That's why there's ashtrays there.
I was like, if you can't smoke, why is there an ashtray?
There is some people that will, like, they're that bad that they need to go in for a smoke and have one. That's why the ashtrays.
Would they not get in trouble, like?
Probably if they get caught, yeah. Would you have sex on a plane?
Oh, it'd be so awkward.
How would you? Like, what if you got caught?
I can barely fit in that fucking Jack's, never mind two people.
I know,
like,
you see me. One cheek on the toilet and the other one on the fucking sink.
And think about, Jesus Christ, I'll never be able to unsee that. But like, think about, there's like 400 people, say, on an Emirates flight, right?
Yeah.
300, 400 people.
Is all of them, like, is there a Ryanair side to an Emirates, or it's all nice?
like now first class on Ryanair is like getting Coke instead of Pepsi. Like that's how shit it is. There's no like
shitty. That's what I'm saying.
you pay extra to go middle class on Ryanair. Like, do you know what I mean? But in terms of Emirates, like any plane in general, there's about 300 people on board and there's only 4 toilets. Imagine the amount of fucking germs in a plane toilet. No wonder people are coming back like from holiday and catching COVID. Like that's why I'd never have sex.
I honestly try not to go to the toilet.
Yeah, and you see all like pissing all over the seat. And like,
I know. I even hate going, like, me as a boy, I hate the fact that I'm a boy sometimes. I have to go into the men's toilets because the fucking smell of it.
Yeah,
and Ryan, you can attest to this. Like, isn't it disgusting? Like, it just smelled vile. Like, it smelled like dirty Billy, and then there's just piss all over the floor. And God love you if you ever had to have a shit. Like, it's horrible. I nearly got a taxi home.
I went into a toilet in town before, and the men and women's were right beside each other, but there was a man coming out of the men's toilet, and the whiff. I was like, oh my God, that'd make your eyes water.
Yeah, I remember in the Ark years ago, fucking Oprah in the corner, I'd be like, get out, you can't be in here. I'd be like, excuse you, my name's Susan. I've every right to be in here.
Just because I have a tie haircut, you think I'm a man?
I used to always go into the girls. You know the toilet upstairs in the Ark? They didn't have to go down. There was only the girls one. I used to always go in there.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand that. Like, women's toilets is just so clean.
Yeah, neat. It's like a palace when you go in.
It's.
Or do you ever see in Rights the way they have that unisex toilet? It's like this side, yeah. Do you ever see that?
Oh no. I know. I've never been in a situation where I had to share. Sometimes, like in pubs or something, or like at concerts, you know, when the queue for the women's toilet is so long, girls start going into the men's and vice versa.
Them, yeah.
But no, it is. They're absolutely manky. Like, I'm just, and you know what I hate as well? Like, do you ever use Stephen's Green's toilets? Now you have to pay like 20 cents to use it.
Are they like porta potties?
No, but they're like, you just know anyone and everyone's been using them, and like toilets and petrol stations.
Ugh, no.
Oh no, that's.
I remember I got the runs when we were down at Bray Beach and we went into the Circle K there.
I wouldn't be like you not to get the runs.
I know. I knew I was gonna blow that bowl up, and I was like, God, and I grand. There was no one even in the garage. I was like, grand. Went in the toilet, and I was, you know, it's one of them toilets because it's obviously gonna fall out here. We're only 5 minutes, like quick in and out, and there was a man standing outside waiting to go after me, and I was like,
did you have to apologise?
I know. I just looked at him, and he looked at me, and then I just ran.
And he knew.
Yeah,
he knew in that moment.
Like, pull off now. I don't want him to see. If I see him again, imagine.
Do you know what as well? Like, I what was it in terms of like toilets and if we're going to talk about toilets, can we talk about Portaloos at festivals or carnivals?
Disgusting. I mean, always a big fresh.
If you, but Jordan, they're on the walls.
Like, literally,
the shit is on the walls.
Like,
yeah, like it's like a feral cat just cooked the darts and sprayed all over the walls. I'm like what did you eat? That
just literally a fresh gutter, like when you walk in, like how I don't like. I just thank God being a boy sometimes as well. You can just go
stand
to a tree,
up.
Like,
I'm so jealous.
I'd never kill.
Girls have to hover and then the fucking streams going left, right and centre.
I'm nearly even getting sick thinking their smell.
But I went to Creamfields, right, a big dance festival, and I'll never forget, we got off the bus when we got there and there was like a few Portaloos, you know, like before you make your way in and do the big fucking walk. It's like going into Dublin Airport with that walk. Yeah, it's grand after this here.
Grand.
And I was like to my friend, I goes, I'm just going to go to the toilet before we start this big bleeding trek. And I went in and there was like a tub of Vaseline and a condom.
Oh, they were getting lubed up, like?
Yeah, and they're only off the bus.
Dirt.
At
least they were being safe.
I know, but like, how did 2 years fit in there? And then I started thinking to myself, could they have had drugs shoved up them?
Oh, yeah. Well, why would they need... they probably were plugging if they needed the Vaseline.
They were probably doing it there, yeah, because they get searched.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'll never be able to unsee that.
I don't know.
2 people couldn't fit in a Portaloo.
My friend put a bit of weed in. Nick was going to Life Festival in London, and they had... I might have a stroke there. They had the dogs, like the drug dogs, and the dog came up and sat down beside her, and she was... And I'm not messing, it was only literally a little bit of weight. And there was this whole hullabaloo made. She got dragged into the thing, and they were like, look, do you have that on you? And she's one of them people that, like, our joint is our life. So she was like, no, I have nothing. So because she said no, and the dog was saying she had drugs on her, it was made bigger, do you know what I mean? She got brought into a room, got proper strip searched, like internal examined. I'm not messing it, everything. Jesus. She was getting kicked out of the festival and all.
Squatting
and
cough.
It was only because it was a little bit enough for about 2 joints, and she begged her one place, like, that's all I have, I'm telling you. And they were convinced that she had more up her, so they made her like squat and cough and the whole shebang, like. And it took about 4 hours for all that to happen, and then she was back out, and our friend was like, there was only 2 of them. So our, excuse me, our friend was outside waiting on her through all that. Imagine like all that just for a bit of weight to go away.
So when I went to Creamfields, they were taking iPod speakers off people, and I was like, what the fuck? I goes, what's a speaker gonna do? But obviously it causes noise pollution, right? And we only found this, right? I was 3 people up from getting searched, and I only found that out that they were taking iPod speakers. So what I had to do is I had to take it out of like my backpack, right, and shove it into the centre of my sleeping bag. I mean, like I thought it's like I was giving someone a rectal exam. That's how far I had to shove the thing into the bag, and they didn't find it.
And would that be for like at night time when the festival is over? When
and I'm just like,
sure,
everyone's screaming, everyone's off their fucking heads, like, do you know what I mean?
Anyway, so they love a bit of music.
And then like I remember one night I was trying to go to sleep. I remember the first time I went to Creamfields, I couldn't sleep properly, like, and because like it was my first time staying over, like 4 nights we stayed there, right? And you're so alert, your senses are like, everything's going on around you, like you think someone's going to fall in your tent, people are walking by, and you know it's quiet for about 15 minutes, and next of all someone just randomly screams, and you're like, you jump and you wake up, right? I remember someone walked by, I was in England, right, and someone just walked by, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm there like riddled with anxiety, afraid I won't be able to sleep and survive the next day, and you just hear someone walking by, suck on my big fat one. I was like, what the fuck? And then there was another girl, right, just retched for about 2 hours straight, and people were like opening their tents, they were like, will you shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Like,
my friend, they went to the toilet and they came back and someone had a shit in their tent.
Oh my god.
Would you be like literally a full on human poo in the middle of that tent on their bag and all?
What?
Like who? Like,
but people are that off the head that like
they just think
they
it's
probably
funny.
think they're in a toilet.
They probably think it's funny as well.
My mate said,
I'd be one of them people, I dare you to go into a tent and have a shite.
I know, yeah, it'd be gas, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
Gas for the wedding speech. But remember that time you had a shit in a tent? But I remember
talk to me about my wedding speech.
My friend told me she was at Electric Picnic before, and she woke up, I think it was like 7 or 8 in the morning, and there was someone in the tent trying to chew her wristband off her.
What? Oh, to keep it, like, to stay in?
Yeah. So they obviously hopped the fence. Yeah, she said, get out, get fucking out.
And she only woke up halfway to get the arm bit off her, like.
Yeah. I'll actually never forget the first time I went to EP. Right now, I can honestly say I went to festivals and I never took a drug in my life at a festival, like, and I've just been locked. But I remember one night we were at EP, and like we went to bed at about 2 or 3 in the morning, and there was a couple in the tent beside us, and you could just hear them ride them. Stop. And I was like,
It mustn't have been that good.
I mean, my friends were looking at each other. Have you got your phones? Yeah, put them in, because this is going to be a while.
Sounds like she's getting hurt.
Oh yeah, it was like, that sounds like a shite ride. That does.
Be different story if she was like, I'd be like, go on, fair play. Remember when we went to, what was the Swedish House Mafia?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the first times we like, don't even talk about that. That was one of the first times we proper like hung around, wasn't it? How old were we at that? About 18?
Yeah, oh no, that I actually still have the ticket of that.
Do you?
Yeah.
I went home early and all. I lost all my friends, and I remember I was in a fucking stupid blue poncho and
I know, I remember me and Jordan walked like from...
Well, my friend had the fucking brilliant idea that she thought, do you know the way the Phoenix Park is behind Ballyframe at that entrance?
Yeah, we got off the bus in Ballier.
Like, my friend thought it was that side of the Phoenix Park. No, it was like fucking, what's it called? Cabra. It was like Cabra side. So we literally had to walk. We had to walk about 3.5 hours. I was feeling.
And then the walk when you get into fucking the park as well.
Yeah, the wellies, like, I'm not messing it, cut me ankles, and then I lost all my friends at about, I think it was right when Snoop Dogg was over. I was like, I'm going home. That's why I went home.
When I went there, my friend said our stepdad got tickets at the last minute, so we walked halfway through the Phoenix Park, and we were waiting there for about an hour on him.
I walked with his, remember?
Yeah, and we missed Snoop Dogg, we missed Calvin Harris.
Oh, you missed them now. We got there right when.
We only got there when Swedish House Mafia were starting.
Yeah.
But no, we walked in with yous, but
yeah, you didn't.
We went
in.
Yeah, yous went off the other way, and I remember I was like getting so annoyed. I was like, oh my god.
Waiting on tickets, were you?
Yeah, we were waiting on tickets. Right. We dropped up for my friend. Now I already had my ticket, so I was fucking fuming. I was like, I'm at the
half the show.
Yeah, I was like, I'm at the paying money, and I'm standing here waiting. So anyway, they got the tickets in the end. We only made it for the start of Swedish House Mafia, and it was a lovely day as well. But we ended up leaving then after Swedish House Mafia. But like, that absolute nightmare getting out of Phoenix Park when there's a concert.
It's horrible. The walk.
It's that walk. It's like a sponsored walk.
Do you know the Phoenix Park is? Sorry, I hit the mic. The Phoenix Park is the biggest park in Europe.
I know, yeah. The biggest enclosed park. I think someone told me that before. But No, it was, and I had tickets for Florence and Machine the next day. Florence and the Machine the next day.
What was on the day before that?
It
Original
was
Rivalries. No, they were supporting.
no. Snow Patrol was the next day, and Florence and the Machine.
Yeah, it was three concerts in 3 days, wasn't it?
I had tickets for it, and basically what happened was I was so scared from that Swedish House Mafia gig.
You didn't go.
I told my friend I was going. I goes, you can have my ticket and give it to someone else. I goes, I'm not going back there. I goes, that was fucking torture. My calves were in bits from all the walking, the standing around. People were walking around. I'll never forget some of the sights I've seen. People were walking around, right? Like they were in the crab position. Like they were that out of it. They were like zombies. There was
more there at that. Like I wouldn't even get into it, but it really was.
It was like I'll never forget it as long as I live. Like it would scare anyone from going back to a concert. Like
it was wild. So the next topic is that Russian land war. Now I don't know too much about it, but I just heard that I heard that training Russian navals. The US, whatever I don't know what it is. The Ukraine are involved in their military options that the US can get in on them, and Russia is afraid that they'll have borders too close to Russia, basically. So Russia don't want the US to be in Ukraine. So that's what the whole thing is. So Russia want to take over the Ukraine now. I think that's what it is. And apparently they're going to have a fight near Ireland.
Yeah, and basically the Minister for Foreign Affairs has said, not that you can do anything about it, but he said it won't be welcomed for, I think they're in international waters, but they're in like, what do you call it? They're on Ireland's, I suppose.
Turf, basically.
Not well, similar to turf, but there's a certain district that they're on where like Ireland are part of.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't appreciate you being on that.
Yeah, and I saw on the news, like in America, they're all talking about like Ireland has no military, like blah, blah, blah. This and that, like ripping Ireland about not being able to like launch a helicopter from a ship, and they don't have the military backup. In fact, they don't have any military systems, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, and then look how.
That's why I always think about like anyone who's in the army over here. Like we're such a neutral country that like, what?
It's protection. Like they're only in the army. Oh, don't get me. I don't know what I'm trying about, but I think they're only a defence force. That's it. It's only like if anything happens, they're trying for that.
They're not going out looking for a fight.
War. Yeah,
like someone 12 points deep.
But I do know that there are people in the army like do like rescue stuff, and like they go to Syria,
peacekeeping, and go to Lebanon and all. Yeah,
Lebanon and Syria and all that.
But yeah, no, that is mad. Like, 'cause actually, I remember seeing a TikTok before, and it was like things our generation are going to see. So like the Queen dying, Russia,
a king of England for the first time in
Russia and Ukraine. 70 years, is it?
70 years, yeah.
Jesus.
Do you think the Queen is dead? I do. I think she's back in the fridge and they're just waiting.
I'm seeing like a couple of conspiracies being like, look at the way when Kate and William are out doing meet and greets, and Kate lets William go first because he's the king.
No, but sure, Charles will be the king.
Oh yeah. I don't think he's going to take it. I think he's going to hand it to William.
He'll die as well.
Yeah.
He'll be too old to take over.
If I'm gone, you're coming down with me. But he's like in his 70s. Like that'd be a lot for him to take on.
Yeah.
I think he will. Like he'll hand it down the way. Do you know the king's brother before the Queen was supposed to be king and didn't want to do it?
Yeah, because
Lord Mountbatten or something. Was that his name? No,
that's what his name was when he abdicated.
Yeah, and he gave it to Queen Elizabeth. So yeah,
Prince Edward, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't allowed to marry
because he was with a French girl,
and she was divorced. That's what it was. So he chose love over royal duty.
You should watch The Crown. Like it's very educational.
Yeah, it's so good.
I think they're going to start showing that in schools. Like, do you know that?
Did you see that Diana movie, Spencer?
No, I actually been meaning to watch it. You said it was very good.
Like, it is good, but they really go into like the psychotic side of Diana, like on our mental illness and our having anorexia and bulimia, and I don't know, like she's still a person at the end of the day, and she's someone's mom and all that, and they do like this whole like fantasy things of like what she would have been saying. It is a good film, but I just think you're forgetting that is someone's mom, that you know what I mean. So I don't know. I
wouldn't say Harry or
be too happy about
William
it,
have watched it, but yeah, no, jeez, imagine how lonely that was for her. Like,
I know, I love her. Like honestly, she's just the queen of my heart.
I know, like Westlife.
I don't think I'll ever be the queen, but I'd like to be queen of people's hearts. The next topic is summer plans. Have you got any good summer plans?
When I met you in the summer. Wow. To be honest, I'm going to New York in March, obviously, and I don't know whether I'll even go on a summer holiday this year because we're going to be knuckling down saving for the mortgage.
For us all.
I think really it's going to be great.
I feel like a good one, yeah.
We deserve it. We fucking deserve it.
In May.
Are you with who?
I'm going with all the girlos and my friends, and it just so happens to be my birthday that weekend.
Where was my invite?
In the bin where it belongs. Do you want to come?
So, Well, you know, if you don't want to use my name as leverage to get into nightclubs for free, well then.
Oh, here we go.
Fuck
Beyonce.
you, Money West.
Why'd you have a big scene over in Benidorm? Sticky Vicky and Enya.
I love Benidorm.
I hear it's just the ball.
It is. And
Yeah.
do you know what? It's a place where you'd only go for a long weekend. Like,
Yeah.
I think a week is too much.
Yeah,
But
it's just proper like
it's just like you
it's
could
family,
wear
but it's a party scene, isn't it?
family.
Yeah,
I never
everyone-
seen any families over there.
I see loads of families. Perry
No.
Edwards' ma and like Perry Edwards, from Litmix, like she loves Benidorm.
Does
And,
she?
Yeah, my friend met her over there, like Perry Edwards' mum, like just in the local pubs loads of times.
I seen a lot of there is a lot of English bars over there,
Yeah,
like the
it's
Red
full of
Line and all
English,
like that.
What's that thing about the meme going around about ITV?
Oh yeah.
Holiday in Benidorm.
Brits in Benidorm. Benidorm does Brits.
Yeah.
Brits leave Benidorm. Top 10 places for Brits in Benidorm. Like,
Do you have
it's
any
just-
recommendations for what I should do in Benidorm?
I tell you what, Benidorm is just the place to be. There's a strip there, right? And I'm not messing. Like we've often fell out at like 6 a.m,
Yeah.
and like it's just the nightclub. You're just spoiled for choice. And I tell you what, like you don't have to worry about what way you dress and all. It's just anything
No, yeah,
goes.
no
It's
one
just
cares.
it's great. It's just great crack. It's somewhere I'd want to go for me hens or something.
Right, deadly,
like,
yeah.
I actually went to a wedding in Benidorm, but so we went for like 5 days. The wedding was in a city next door to Benidorm, but we all stayed in Benidorm. Say Benidorm one more time.
Benidorm.
And it was great. It was great crack. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. Defo, 5 stars from me.
Love that. So like, what adventures would you like to do? Like, where would you like to go and what would you like to do?
This is what I'm thinking. So like the more like I'm starting to do more shows and stuff now, and like, you know,
Step outside your comfort zone a bit more,
yeah, and then money that I'm getting from like branded videos and stuff, like I would love to just be spontaneous and
just-
go somewhere on my own.
Yeah.
Like-
I was only telling Enya that I booked like a little random little trip that I just never would have done before, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm doing it. I don't care. Like, this is the year of me. Like, I'm leaving that shit in 2021 of like not being the main character. It's time for me to step into my light now. It just it
I
is
want to be the main character in my own life.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
but no,
time
but it's,
for me to.
it's stuff like that. Like that's why I don't understand why people go out and like, well, maybe because they can, but people go out and spend like, you know, $2,000 on a handbag, and I'm like, I would rather
No,
go on a
$2,000
holiday
yeah, make a
of
memory,
a
like-
lifetime. Yeah, a bag is a
There's
fucking
something
bag.
collect the dust. Like, fuck
A
that.
bag in pennies does the same fucking job for a tenner.
Yeah.
Why can't you go on a holiday of a lifetime? Fly business class. That's one thing I want to do before I die. Fly business class.
Yeah,
but
fucking right.
I was only saying to Jordan that I'm going to New York in March, like I mentioned 45 times since the podcast started. But I got it from my fella for his birthday, and I goes, right, I'll have a chance to see what business class costs,
like-
right? $2,500
Grand.
each one way, one fucking way. I was like, no, I'd actually struggle to pay that even if I could afford
No.
it. And I, well, do you know what? I could, but I wouldn't. Well, for a bit of extra fancy food and a bit of fucking leg room, no. Not a chance.
No, and maybe like if you are doing like Australia or something, I'd consider it. But
Not even,
I
Jordan.
even think like you're sitting on a fucking piece of cardboard and that's over $1,000, isn't it?
Yeah, but to be honest,
Imagine a
like
flight to Australia, what
that would be
cost.
quite long. Like I'd probably do it one way, coming home or going over. You know.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. Like my adventures, I'd love to do Bali.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like Bali is a place I want to do, but I want to do like Europe trips. Like I'd love to interrail, but not like shitty doing hostels and like being scabby and all.
Yeah,
that.
but
like,
that's like
that's
on a
part
boat.
of the buzz, I know,
But like, do you know how much it would cost if you were to like stay in a hotel every city you arrived to?
I know, but like in my mind, I'll have the money to proper like interrail.
And I'll be the queen of people's thoughts.
Yeah. Well, like, and I'll be on a world tour. But
Actually, do you know what I'd love to do? Do Route 66 across
Yeah.
America. I would love
to
to
do
do
that.
that before I die.
I was only saying to my sister, I feel like they glamorise America so much, like the South and stuff like that. America literally looks like a wasteland sometimes.
yeah.
Do you ever see parts of it and you're like, that looks rotten? It's
It's
just
just
fields and
yeah.
shacks and warehouses, and they glamorise it so much, like certain parts of it. Like anywhere, obviously there's good parts to any city, but like one place in America I'd love to do would be New Orleans.
Yeah, who told me that?
You have to put your thing in again.
Someone told me New Orleans. Oh, wait, I forget who told me that. Oh, my
New Orleans
boyfriend's
has such
friend
rich
lives
history.
in New York.
Yeah.
And him and his wife went to New Orleans for a long weekend, and it's actually in that film
And
Girls
Mardi
Trip.
Gras, yeah.
And it's like they're saying that's like basically the Benidorm of America.
Yeah.
Like you see
Or
a lot.
like
Yeah, it's like hen parties.
Vegas gets a lot of like in New York and LA and stuff like that, but I'd love to do a day trip in Texas as well. I don't think I'd obviously spend more than a few days in Texas, but just for like the sights and the atmosphere and the buzz. I hear
Yeah,
Atlanta is really good as well.
Atlanta. Where's
Yeah,
that, Georgia?
Georgia.
They film a lot of stuff down there. The Walking Dead was filmed there. Spider-Man was filmed down there.
Yeah. And a lot in Canada as well.
Yeah,
I'd love to go to Canada.
It's because it's cheaper to film. But like the Route 66, I think starts in Chicago and then it ends in like the
It starts on the east,
Santa Monica,
and then goes on to the west.
No, it doesn't. There's not a road that connects from New York to. It starts in Chicago. I swear to God.
Chicago.
Chicago.
You came up with this little idea now for the next segment. It's called 10 Things.
10 things, right? So give me your phone. This is going to be called. This is my new segment. Top 10 things, right? And my first one is top 10 things left in a hotel room, right?
So we're gonna do top 10 things every week.
Top 10 things every week, yeah. Things left behind in a hotel room, right? So number one is chargers for mobile phones.
Oh yeah.
Smart devices, Kindles and laptops. The amount of phone chargers. Do you know why? Because you're waking up, you're still half locked. You're only packing half a bag, and then by the time you get on the plane, you're like, bollocks, I want to leave my phone charger there.
It's not worse, and then you're like fucked.
Yeah. And then mobile phones.
I hate leaving anything in a hotel. Like, it's honestly horrible. Because I'm one of them people that do a check and make sure, have I got this, have I got that, have I got this, and I always fucking leave something.
Oh, you always do.
But sometimes do you ever get like you have to leave stuff like, like I can't take that home, like say your deodorant or like your hairspray or whatever.
And then number two, mobile phones. I've never leaving a phone behind me, but that's this day and age now. Mobile phone.
Your phone is your hand.
Yeah, that's it. It actually is. Number three, books.
I'd say if you read the book.
Educate people.
Imagine leaving your diary.
Oh my God, dear diary.
Today I saw a boy. That'd be horrible. They'd be all ripping.
Well, I can understand people leaving books behind because if you've been on holidays and you finished it, what's the point bringing it home?
I just couldn't imagine going to a beach and read. Like, my eyes would be killing me from the sun, and I'm hardly going to strain them even more by reading a book.
I find it hard to look at my phone screen when I'm sunbathing. Like, so imagine like reading a Kindle or something. Number four. COVID money. Teddy bears. Do you ever see actually people who like lose
kids or
lose their teddy bears, and they do like a missing persons post on Facebook? Oh God! Indeed, do you know what? They're actually most left behind on planes and in airports.
Did you have a support time when you were a child?
Yeah, I had a teddy bear called Baby Bear. I still have it. And like its clothes were like fucking 1970s wallpaper, like that type of design. And its arm is hanging off. It's an amputee now. So
I love him.
Yeah, my brother used to torture my teddy bears.
I was only saying to you, like, my brother was the same with me. Like, if I was bald, he'd punish me by like cutting up my Barbie dolls.
Yeah.
Like, my nanny used to literally hold my hands behind me back and make me watch me Barbie dolls getting like shaved. Britney 2007, and I'd be screaming. Like, that was pure torture.
I don't know how they didn't end up being serial killers.
I'm surprised I didn't turn out to be a fucking Jeffrey Dahmer going through that. The rage I used to be like, I wouldn't look at him for weeks after doing that. Because like, you could fix a Barbie doll if you put the head off of it, whatever. I'd be like, joke's on you because I can fix it, but I can't fix her like if you shave the head. Do you ever see that? She's no good to me anymore.
Do you ever see that in Love Hate where like Fran catches that one Donna? Yeah, your hair might grow back, but your fucking face won't. You just hold it. Yeah. And then number five, toiletry bags. I always leave shampoos and shower gel behind. I'm like, what's the point with the extra weight? Like, do you know what I mean? Fucking bought it in Aldi for €2.
If only you could leave your extra weight on holiday.
I know, your extra holiday weight. But look, gaining weight on holiday is a sign you enjoyed yourself.
Exactly.
And it's not permanent. 6, jewellery. Well, if it's only pennies jewellery. If it's only pennies jewellery, I wouldn't give a fuck. But I actually got a watch before I went to Dubai. I like treated myself, and now if I left that behind, the money I paid for it, I'd be snapping.
Yeah, I'm not a jewellery person. Like, I've never like.
I never was either, but now I'm starting to get into
bracelet.
it. Like, I find now that if you get like the shitty jewellery or pennies and all, like it's turned your wrist grain or your neck grain. You're like, do you know what? I'd rather pay like and you take care of them more if you know you've paid a lot more money for it.
I feel like boys that wear jewellery either look like a hipster or like you're in the part of the cartel. It's one or the other.
Like them chains, like
or pinky rings and all. Get up out of that. Like,
what are pinky rings?
A ring that goes on your pinky.
Right. That was something else.
A cock ring.
Yeah. And then what else? Watches.
Oh my God! Imagine leaving all your sex toys in the hotel room.
My friend worked in a hotel and she said that a girl came back, like she was about to stay in the weekend. No, she didn't come back. What happened was the cleaners went up to clean the room after this couple had left, and they left their digital camera there.
They were recording.
And right.
And
they turned it on. They were like, "Fuck it, we'll turn it on."
Fuck off.
Pictures, videos.
Oh my God! No.
They were like, "You want to see the shit that happened in hotel rooms?" Yeah.
I'd sell it on the dark web. Imagine the money you'd make.
I know. Yeah.
Put it onto Pornhub.
7, clothing. Do you know what? Like,
do you know what? I had to leave. When I went and got my surgery, they gave me the most nicest robe ever. Like, when would me being 6'5" and 75 stone, I'd never get given a robe that fit me. This thing fit me like a glove, and it was the most like heaven it was on you. And I already had one that I bought. I had one that I bought, but I didn't like it half as much. And because the one I got in the hospital was like real thick, I couldn't fit it in the suitcase. I nearly cried that I couldn't bring that home with me. Honestly, because I was like, I love it so much.
Yeah, but it wasn't yours to begin with.
Yeah, but I got it. Like, I brought it back to the hotel with me.
Oh, right.
And I tried to pack it and I couldn't.
I hate those little hidden extras where like you wear a house coat or a morning, whatever you call it.
If you call it a dressing gown, fuck off.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, go back to fucking Malahide.
Yeah.
But clothing in terms of like, yeah, when you put on like the house coat and stuff like that they have hanging in the wardrobe, they charge you, don't they? Because they have to dry clean it then.
Fuck off, do they?
Something like
My
that,
nanny
yeah.
used to say to me, don't fucking open that fridge, I'll get nothing out of it.
Yeah, I know. So why is it
Like,
stocked?
I'm parching fucking €4 for a can of Coke.
Number 8, toys. Well, that'd be similar to like teddy bears and stuff. Number 9, business papers, notebooks, presentations.
You'd be sick if you were like on a business trip, wouldn't you? You left all that fucking shit behind you.
But you know, like if you were like flown over for a business trip
Yeah.
and like the actual seminar or something was like miles away from the
piece of
hotel,
paper,
and you
yeah.
get there and you're like, oh my god, this is a career defining moment, and I've left everything in the
I know,
hotel.
but everything, I feel like if you are such a businessman, everything is on like PDF, isn't it? Or do you
Imagine-
ever see like those people that have the styluses for their phones? That like,
Yeah.
now it's documents they can sign it on their phone.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That is, isn't it?
I got like an email that I had to sign once and like I just did it with my finger.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you can actually download apps for that. But I remember, no, not that I remember, but can you imagine if like you were going in to clean a hotel room and there was just papers all over the floor, like a plan to kill someone or something?
What would you do with your reporter? I'd really
You'd have to, yeah. And
I'd sit on the bed and go, right, what's going on?
but like, imagine you used a fake name. Like, how do celebrities get away with that? Use a fake name. What are they called?
An alias.
An alias, yeah.
Yeah. What was Britney's once? A lot of warm heart. Anita Dick.
I need a dick.
Anita
Dick, yeah. I was watching
Chastity Montgomery.
I was
That was
watching a Catfish before, right? And they were trying to find out if this person was a catfish or not. And apparently she was staying at a hotel. Say his name was like Jordan Reddy, right? And they rang up the hotel and they're like, can you put me through to Jordan's Ready Room? Like, no
Who's
question.
that? Yeah.
No questions were asked. They were just like, yeah, we just
sent
put you
through,
through.
yeah, you
Like,
can't
that could have
do
been
that,
anybody.
yeah.
Like, the last one, number 10, gifts and presents. I think the only reason they would be left behind is if you
If
didn't want them.
like it, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, imagine if you were like a hotel cleaner and like someone died or something and you had to clean them out. Oh, God.
So Whitney Houston died in a hotel, didn't she?
Yeah.
In the
In the
bats.
Hard Rock, yeah.
I know, that'd be like that. Jesus, I wouldn't.
You'd be sick, wouldn't you? Like, or like, imagine someone got murdered American Horror Story style and you had to go in and like.
You wouldn't.
You'd
That'd
get
be
a
like,
professional.
no, yeah, that'd be left to fucking forensics
The
and all
crime
like that.
scene,
You,
yeah.
imagine, Mary, will you go up there and just clean up that mess? No, someone's had to blown their brains out. Not a fucking chance.
Oh my God.
But like, you wouldn't be able to go back to work after that. Like,
No, the shock, yeah, alone. What's next on the thing?
What
Ryan's
is
giving
next?
us the sign.
Yeah. So Jesus, we've loads. So sinking rivalry. What's that?
Sibling rivalry.
Right. Well, you have it down as
Rivalry.
sinking
All right,
rivalry.
well, look at you big fucking grandma Nazi. Sibling rivalry. So like, yeah, you'd have the most to talk about that because like you're a twin.
Yeah, I'm a twin. Like,
You suck all the oxygen out of poor Phil. Like,
oh
I
God, I
love
thought you were going to say something else here.
No.
Incest, darling. No, like, to be honest now, he did very, very well in school compared
Yeah.
to me. Like, in the leaving cert, like, he did extremely well. And do you know what? Like, at the graduation ceremony, like, all students were getting awards, you know, best student in chemistry. And I think he won like 6 of them, like.
Wow.
And he went on, is a scientist now, like, and he actually makes testing kits in his lab, like, for COVID and, like, you know, like, new illnesses and stuff like that for hospitals. But in terms of, yeah, like, sometimes I think he does feel it when he sees me, like, doing Vicar Street and all my man there bragging about me and stuff like that.
But he's doing right in his own way
Yeah.
as well. Like, he's had to doing it very proud
But he
as well.
wouldn't like the limelight. Now, he is just
Yeah.
as funny as me.
Yeah,
like,
he is. Phil's
He's
a character,
gas.
like.
But, like, he wouldn't be into, like, being on stage. Like, he's very
Yeah.
shy.
He's
like
very
that.
similar.
But we are very similar. Like, we used to kill each other growing up, but now, like, we get along. Like, we're always tagging each other in memes and stuff. But no, like, I've never felt like he was trying to be competitive with me or anything,
No,
you know?
yeah.
What about you?
Like, no, I feel like my Erin is like 8 years older than me, so like, but we're the same. She's a Gemini and I'm a Gemini, which is only a day in between our birthdays, but we're two the same, so like we kill each other, but then we'll like be best friends. Like, we never drag it out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I don't think there's any like rivalry there. Like, she'd be very proud of me and I'd be very proud of her. Like, she gave me a nephew and I'm obviously so famous, so but it's great when you see her like talking about me and how proud she is of me as well. So I love that. And she, no bother to her, like, she'd be like, that's my brother, like, I'm so proud of him.
I know, and you know what? It's not often you see. Some families are very like that. They're very like, oh, look, I'm loud and proud of my brother. And then some families show it very subtly, you know?
Well, like even this morning she came in, she was messaging, she was giving me a kiss on the cheek and stuff. That's just cute. That's the way we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
It's
know.
real.
Like, that's what anytime
It's
you were
nice.
talking about when you fight and stuff like that, and like it's family, like
Yeah,
you
it's the
fall
way
out.
it is.
Like you be talking a few days later, like whereas
Yeah.
if that was a mate or something like that,
Yeah.
you just probably
I
wouldn't
feel
talk
like
to
if
them for
we
months.
seriously fall out, there's a reason for it. Like, and it's
Yeah.
a real reason. But
Like sometimes I have to put my brother in his place. Like sometimes
Yeah.
like he goes out a lot on the weekend, and like sometimes he'd call in sick to work. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like you have a great job there,
career, yeah.
and he gets real like defensive over. Oh fuck
Yeah.
off, you don't know
Like
anything.
I said, we know them people inside and out, so
Yeah.
we feel like we can say those things. Like
Yeah.
me and Aaron, like, we'd argue over silly little things, and then we'd argue over really serious things.
Mm.
But I feel like no matter what, we'll always come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Regardless, like
You do, like it's that's the great thing about family is you can confront them when it's needed, and you know that like
They can put you in your
they're not
place
going to
as
hold
well.
a grudge against you, yeah. And then right, we'll
and you
do
has the topics.
we'll do our so over
Okay.
segment next because we've loads to get through, so we might leave that till the next podcast, will we?
Yeah.
So what are you?
Oh,
So
well, like Euphoria was a good one. Quickly, and you just watched the first 2 episodes.
no, I think I watched 4 episodes.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I got to the stage where what was it? Oh God, now I'm trying to remember. Where your one Zendaya Rue is like she's banging on your man's door and she's like, I need
Oh, let me
drugs
in,
because she's
yeah.
after telling you I
She
won.
won a Emmy for that.
Did she? Yeah.
Yeah.
She told Jules that she tried to kiss her. That was the episode. Yeah.
Love
So that was like episode 4 or something, wasn't
the
it?
hair and makeup on it is amazing, isn't it? The
Yeah.
styling, like they're all wearing $3,000 bleeding cardigans walking around.
It's like grunge makeup or
Yeah.
something, isn't it? It's real like 90s.
Gas, like literally walking in going like, ugh, I hate my life, they're such a fucking whore. Like who talks like that?
I'm like, what? Like I don't remember experiencing anything like that. Like, do you
When
always
I
only
was 16
thinking?
in school, I was like, are we going to watch High School Musical? Like,
Do you remember? Do you always only thinking last night? Remember Greece, and they had us believing that like
That-
40-year-old men were teenagers.
Literally, I
Yeah,
know.
man with the receding hairline and all. I was like, he's only had to make his confoamy bollocks.
I know. But Euphoria is good. It is a good watch, isn't it?
It is, but
I'm
it's like
all the way up.
it's very out there.
Yeah,
Like
it's very graphic, but I love it. I basically think it's just like an Americanized, ramped up version of Skins.
yeah, or Shameless or something like that.
it's kind of
Yeah,
like that, and they're doing. I saw like a TikTok talking about it's not for people that have attention spans because it constantly jumps and changes, and there's all these like scenes on where they're like dreams or like thoughts or music videos or whatever. Excuse me. But it's constantly changing. It's not. It does annoy me how it doesn't focus a lot. On
yeah, the
it's-
camera
yeah,
angles and all. Like
It's like very. Oh, what's that happened to the screen, Ryan?
didn't
we're
pay
down.
the lecky.
Ryan's on his gay.
It's grand. What are you saying?
But there we are, we're back. But yeah, I feel like it does jump a lot, and I'm like, right, get to the fucking point. And I think your man Nate is a fucking psycho. Like, let's put it out there. He like, what are you at? Like, what? Who was 17 going like, I'm gonna get you done on child pornography if you don't do this and that? Like, who the fuck had the cop on?
It's
like,
very mixed up. Yeah,
It's very what? Like, no,
going from the kissing boots
like,
to that, like
no, go away. And they were bleeding by Mandy in the carnival and all, like doing the little, like,
it's. I don't you think it's realistic? Like
yeah, maybe. Like, I hear that high school is like that, but I just don't think on the fashion
a
side
select
of it, like,
audience would be like that.
nowadays the kids are getting very good with their hair and makeup, but they can.
Do you know what?
outfit
Like
choices and stuff, but I think over here it's all uniforms. Like, I wouldn't know a school that doesn't have a uniform.
I'd hate though to have to pick out an outfit every day for school.
Yeah.
I was like that with college. I was like,
used
oh,
to
for
even
fuck's
fucking hate.
sake.
Do you remember on the half days on Wednesday? Did you have half days on Wednesdays in your school?
No,
When was your half day?
we didn't have it every day, every week. Like
We
it was
had a
the odd
half day
time.
every Wednesday, and on a half day
Give
it
the
was
teachers a break.
non-uniform day sometimes.
We
and
had
I
no
fucking
uniform
hated
days.
it.
Yeah,
Pay €2. Do you remember?
I thought it was liberating. What, pay €2 to have a human right? Yeah.
But like, you had to pick out what to wear. I'd be like, oh fucking hell. I used to wear like fucking G Unit, like hoodies and big, like, I used to go into like
This
the
is how we do.
yeah, I used to go in and get to wear like basketball and baggy shorts, scarlet for myself. Thought it was in a hip hop competition.
Yeah, do you know what? We were actually me and Joe were only talking like we must get me ma on and like compare like school life
From now
to when
then.
she went to school to us. Like, yeah, that's why we'll try get her to watch an
That's
episode of
fun.
Euphoria.
I have so many good ideas for Kate to come on.
I'd be like, man, that's what school's like now. Fuck
Yeah.
off.
She's fucking gassed. So what you have over?
I'm so over Twitter. I just think, and you know what? I can see TikTok going down the same route. It's very toxic.
I don't have Twitter,
But-
like, for that reason.
It's so easy, Jordan, to make up an anonymous account and just like
Yeah.
lay into someone and just say the most horrific things. Like, I don't know how Twitter haven't policed it now at this stage.
Yeah.
Instagram have actually introduced this thing. Like when I go to block somebody, they say block this, say
Yeah.
block Jordan's account or block Jordan's account and other accounts they make.
Or you can make people unfollow. If you don't want that person to follow you, you can remove them from your followers.
No way.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
My friend tried to send me a video this morning of Britney, like him walking down the road with Britney, and it wouldn't send because of copyright issues on Instagram.
Right.
And then you go onto Twitter, like, and there's like porn.
Yeah, I know.
Like they
Yeah.
had like X-rated, like literally there is like actual full on like OnlyFans accounts where they post their like little snippets of their.
Do you remember
bang
Stephen
sesh.
Bear? Did you see that?
Him
He
fingering
is
himself.
no.
Yeah, that video of him literally pounding the whole lot himself.
What the fuck? No, there's a video. I seen a video of him in the shower with some girl, and like he put it on Twitter. And I
Nudes
was like,
always leak on Twitter, don't they?
no, but it was a video.
Oh,
Like, and I was like,
I hate
oh my
him.
god, yeah, so
I
do I.
hate him.
Hey,
He's a creep.
he, someone like that is what do they call it? An oxygen thief? Yeah, but
just sucks all the air out around like.
the likes of Twitter though, it's so like full of Karens. Like if I put up something even mildly politically incorrect, all of a sudden it's like flies
That's
on
why I don't
shit.
have it, yeah.
People are retweeting it. I can't believe she would say that and all.
Fuck off.
Never found her funny anyway. Not
Yeah.
that happened to me, but that's what it's like. It's horrible. It's just it's a cesspit.
My friends have like are one of them like constantly in Twitter wars, and I just like I don't have Twitter because of you.
Yeah.
I cannot deal with it. Like I just think it's so negative, and I don't have it, and I won't have it.
I'm a
So that's
silent
that.
Twitter user. I just go on it and I just follow celebrities and like news and stuff like that. I never post anything.
The only time I literally, because Britney posts more on Twitter.
Does she? Yeah.
So like, because she's more followers on Twitter, and so she takes breaks from Instagram, and I don't know why, because I feel like Twitter is way more ruthless. But yeah, I just go on and check what she's doing. But I go on to Google, type our Twitter page, and then click in that way. I don't actually have the app.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't have Twitter and I won't get it.
What are you so over?
Mine was the cold weather. Like the last while, it's been bitter. Like I literally, I haven't
Yeah.
got. I don't know why I don't invest in an electric blanket. I only said it today. It's warm now today.
Hot water
Didn't have
bottle.
the jacket on. Like I feel like they do fuck all.
In Penny's yesterday I seen, and the big fucking long yolks it is. Swear to God. I was like, imagine filling that with cement.
But I feel like it's getting that cold where like my toes just don't get warm. I had to put the hairdryer
Yeah.
on like before. That's a good little trick if
I
you.
always put the feet warmer on in the car.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I haven't got that luxury. I put the hairdryer. This is how ghetto I can be. Put the hairdryer on, put it at the side of the bed, put it under the duvet, and it like heats the bed up.
Oh,
Now, obviously,
lovely.
watch it. Don't walk away. Like,
Yeah, you
don't
wouldn't
burn
be
that gas down.
scrolling on TikTok like.
But yeah, that's my little thing. And like, it's just been so bitter. I'm like, I can't wait for the summer. That's what I'm saying. I cannot wait.
I know.
for
Every
it to
morning
be
I wake up
warm.
early, I have to defrost my window and all. Like,
I just love the summer. I'm
I
just the summer
love.
person. The smell of summer, you know, like when it's still 10 o'clock and it's light out and it just.
And you
oh.
can smell the heat off the ground.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh,
I love when it rains in the summer. When you can smell the rain on, like,
I love when you wake up in the morning time, you can hear someone cutting their grass. I love
no,
that.
that's annoying me.
Oh, I do it. It just reminds me like it's spring or it's summer because you don't hear that in the winter
All
time.
the little
like.
bastards on the road out fucking playing till God knows what.
Oh no, that's one thing I hate about
Yeah.
the summer. All the kids on their summer holidays
No,
out
but I
till
kind of love it as well.
10 o'clock, screaming and all. I'm like, I'm trying to fucking nurse a hangover here. Like,
Even the last 2 years, obviously with the lockdown, I think that the whole country were just like out doing activities. That's what I did. Like there was more like I never
the
actually
beaches were
realised.
crowded.
I never actually realised how like what's that word, like fitness Ireland has, like the beach clubs, the swimmings, the hiking, the running. Like Ireland actually does have like a great outdoor activity scene. It really does, and it makes
Yeah.
me like I would obviously have been an overweight person, so I went and got a surgery done and realised Ireland does have an overweight, like an obesity issue.
Yeah.
But then on the other side of it, they do have a big active community as well.
Oh, they do.
Like,
and,
it's really
and
big.
that's the
like,
great thing about social media, that it draws attention to all that stuff,
Yeah.
you know. If there was one
it's so pretty, like all the sights you can see from going on your hikes and
for
I don't-
free as well.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever be able to do that Stairway to Heaven. Like, I'm sorry, how fucking long is that?
I haven't done it either. I think it's definitely a good few kilometres.
No, I can't walk up the 14 stairs I haven't me gaff,
Yeah.
let alone fucking.
It's very. I tried to do. Me and Gary are staying up in Cavan, and it's about a 30-minute drive from there. And it was in January, and it was actually snowing because it's quite high up. So
It's all wooden.
yeah, it's all
God.
wooden. I think half of it is wooden.
And is it like down and up and down and up? It's not
No,
just
it's
flat?
just constantly elevated. Like, so
Oh
you're
my God,
going
really?
up and then coming back down. Obviously, you're walking down.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't be able. Fuck that.
but you're better off practicing on like other hills before you do that. Like, I think that'd be
I
a
was
bit
only
like,
telling you I walked up the fucking little hill in the Dutch village and I was so proud of myself.
Yeah.
Thought I was deadly.
fine to
I literally got to the top and I was like, go me. Woo.
So yeah, we've come to the end of this week's podcast, and my voice is going to be raw again because I found last week I was like,
You have your Phoebe
Jordan
sexy
is
voice.
your
Regina
Regina Valanche. But yeah, delighted that you enjoyed last week's podcast. Please tune into this one and next week's as well.
Yes.
And we appreciate the support.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
We'll see you next week. Bye.